Welcome to today's race here at the lovely, sunny Lonestar Speedway. We've got an amazing race for you here today. And I think I'm going to have to quickly log into the server. I think I may have lost connection. So let's just run a quick test. I can't see it, so I will quickly reset to fix this. So one moment, please. So as I reload into the server, we have something quite important to do. So once this music runs out, we will be going. I believe that the race will be starting at about now. Unfortunately, we will miss the start of the race, but there's 58 laps of joy to watch when we get back in. Well, up to 58. And I'll have to restart my whole game, unfortunately. Oh well. Of course there's going to be technical difficulties. Well, we are doing the very first BeamGP multi-stream. This is also streaming on Twitch. Not the BeamGP Twitch because we haven't got that set up quite yet, but rest assured that will be set up very soon. If you do want to watch this on Twitch, then be sure to go to my personal Twitch. I'm not gonna say what it is because, well, I don't want to self-promote, but you know, if you can find it, you can watch it on there. Anyway, we are just loading back into BeamNG. Brilliant. I've got to log back in with my account, so one moment please. We are racing in America, so all pay respects to the national anthem of the United States of America. A lovely musical that anthem has got a lovely sound of a traditional orchestra band. As we wait for BeamGP to load back into the server, we will give you a few little bits of information about today's race. Today's race, of course, is being held at the lovely, lovely circuit of what is it, Lonestar, the lovely Lonestar Speedway in, I think it is Texas. Yes, the south of Texas. It saw its heydays in the mid-70s, and since it has fallen out due to safety concerns, but it is still a lovely track to do racing. It has high performance cars driving around there a few times for years, mostly used nowadays for amateur racing competitions. It's got a lovely oval, and it's got a pretty nice roval as well, and we've driven here a few times before actually. I think last season in F3 and BTCC, so that must have been season 2. We had, oh yes, I remember season 2, it was my last race I drove in F3. We drove around this very circuit, and it was very fun to drive, especially BTCC. Yes, some lovely photos there on the repository, gotta love it. Nowadays, though, we mainly use it for testing, and of course here at Nasvan, we're doing the grand finale on this lovely, lovely super speedway. I think it is a super speedway, at the very least. Today, though, we have a competition. 2 drivers are going to be testing. I just realised I did that whole last section without talking, so maybe I wasn't, but oh well. We are talking now. So right now we have 2 drivers in the ranks for the championship, and I was told something, but I've instantly forgot what it was in classic Nath fashion. As we go green again here at the Lonestar Speedway, so we'll pop green on. Let me just find what it was again as they go through turn 3, and there's a crash, Levy and Pizza are in the wall. That is nasty for Levy and Pizza as the caution comes out. Caution called very quickly, lap 3, as Tim goes past. Wilbur also caught up, and you know, Wilbur needed to win the race to win the championship, and by the looks of it, well, they're on lap 3 of 58, and his van is not looking too healthy. He just has 2 more corners to get it back to the pits, and all he needs to do is get it to the pits and do a 10-second stop. Oh, you can see he's had a spin. He's got a lot of damage to his van. As we go on to TV cam, let's have a look at one of the drivers, though. This is White Flamingos. He is currently leading the pack, as you see Tim catching up. He must have been caught in the lap 1 drama, which we unfortunately did miss. Let's just put your sounds back on. Catching back up to the action, though, we just missed lap 1 and 2. We caught with a lap 3, and we are now on lap 4, back under caution. You can see Levy trying to get his car underway again. I think he might be out. Let's have a quick look at the current contender for the championship. This is Wilbur. He's got his car fixed, and he is now back on the road. He's going to have to catch up to the back of the pack, which shouldn't be too hard if he wants to win the championship. I think the current championship leader is Gab, who won the off-season break for season 2, I think it was. We had a little mid-season competition. Who's that in the pits? That's not... It's not Pisa. It's not Tim, is it? Tim's just completely cut the opening there. He's completely cut the infield to enter the pit lane. You cannot do that. That surely will be noted by the stewards, as Mr. M serves apparently a drive-through, unless he Had a little stop that we didn't see. There goes Wilbur trying to catch back up to the back. Oh boy, 16 pings. What the hell? Wrong screen. Oh, you're still on this screen. Why are you still on this screen? It's all broken. Anyway, here we go. Safety car. Thank you, Panel and Racing Fox, for spamming my DMs. It's been fixed now, Creeper. It's been fixed now, Creeper. It's been fixed. That was Creeper just popping into my ears. You didn't hear because I don't have that audio channel turned on. Anyway, though, Wilbur's caught up back to the safety car. And you missed a crash, unfortunately. But I narrated it, so hopefully you could visualize it. If not, you at least had something to go off that something happened as we enter lap 6. Behind the safety car, well, behind the caution, as I should say. This is Nasvan after all. Really, I should have an American accent on, but I don't want to offend too many people, so... one lap to go and then we're green. So at the end of this lap, we will be going racing once more. As we see Wilbur eyeing up his future prey. We'll go on board with Wilbur for now, and then we will ride TV cam with Canadian. We've got a few drivers here today. A few of them have already crashed out. And, well, round we go. On the back straight now. We've got one more corner, 2 more corners until we go green. That is the yellow flags now. As we wait, the safety car will now speed up and, well, pull off into the pits. Let's go to Canadian as we look at the TV cam and get that correct camera set up. Through we go, one more corner. The safety car's pulled into the pit lane entry. Of course, we don't run the pit lane slightly as it looks like it should be. Someone else has entered the pit lane as Canadian is at the front, Wilbur behind him. Through we go. There the red flags, and we go green, and the race is now on. Wilbur tapping up the inside of Canadian. 3 wide as we go through the long left-hand banking of turn 1. Canadian on the outside, Wilbur and then M on the inside. There's been a contact. Oh no, Wilbur and Canadian making contact on the exit of turn 1. Caution out yet again. And I feel this is going to be a common occurrence. Let's have a look at Wilbur. His car stricken and left spinning through and through. As you can see, bouncing all around. Is he going to be able to get it back to the pit lane? Let's have a look. I don't think he's going to be able to. I think that's his championship hopes over. I think he is stuck right there. We had it in one of the heats, heat 1, that someone reversed all the way back to the pit lane. Of course, as long as you can get to the pit lane, you can reset your car, and that is what Wilbur is doing here. Of course, you won't get the optimal airflow for cooling your engine, but it's better than not being able to drive at all. Quick thinking there from Wilbur, very ingenuity, very good thinking on the fly there. Through we go again. As I get a ping again. Oh, that's just previous pings. Everyone trying to tell me that I had the wrong car, the wrong scene, which I did. It seems my buttons messed up a bit. Oh well. We are moving now as we end the caution, and we now go under yellows again, I think. We can expect this hump of drivers, this heap of drivers, to be excitedly waiting, going, I can get some places here if these drivers mess up. We are on a lap 10, lap 8 of 58, 50 laps remaining. Yellow flag now as we wait to go green. Flamingos driving on that white line. In front, green we go. Let's have a look how these drivers are going to go. Terrible start for Tim Lemon there. Let's have a look at Wilbur at the back, fixing his car. He is now at the back. I think he's a lap down. Let's have a look at Mr. M. Mr. M really pushing his car through turn 1, trying to stick around the outside of Flamingo. Of course, around the outside, you've got further to go. So it's going to be harder by default to overtake on the outside. You really want to overtake on the inside. As you can see, sweeping down behind, sweeping into the slipstream of Flamingos. Down he goes on the inside of the exit. Mr. M on the inside of Flamingos. Flamingos stripping up to the inside of the track as we go through turn 2. Mr. M is now in the lead. Let's have a look at
who's going to be the victor as we go into turn 3 now. White Flamingos on the back foot, right behind Mr. M. There's contact between the two of them through turn 1 now. Does anyone have any damage? I can't quite see any damage. Doesn't seem like there's damage. Mr. M was pushed up to the inside, up to the outside rather, as Wadja disconnects from the server. Into turn 2 we go now. And these two drivers, they're pushing their trucks as hard as they can. Props to the two of them for the such clean racing that we've got. Flashing headlights from Mr. M. Trying to talk goes, of course, there's no point flashing your headlights in front of you when the driver's behind you. Side by side now, a bit of contact was definitely made as we entered lap 12. Flamingos on the inside. He's got the same banking as Mr. M. Mr. M on the outside, they can hold the same speed around the corners. Mr. M, he keeps it in front though. Let's ride on board with Flamingo's epic speed as we go up. Mr. M, surprised. Apologies for the explicit used in chat there. Flamingo's getting a little squirrely on the entry to the corner. It's not often you see that. It's usually to the exit of corners you see the drivers getting a bit sideways. The tyres, though, freezing cold. Apologies for the another explicit side-by-side into turn 1, lap 14 as Canadian gets a bit sideways. Contact made again between these two drivers. They are really pushing the door-to-door bumping. And you know what they say. It's called hard racing at the end of the day. I don't know what he's talking about. These drivers DMing me stuff. They're distracting me. Anyway, through we go. Flamingos down the inside as we enter lap 15, I think this would be. He's on the inside of the paint. I'm not sure if he's allowed to do that. As Mr. M gets told to stop texting and driving, of course not the safest practice. Oh, that's some door rubbing right there. Flamingos and Mr. M side by side through turn 1. That's going to definitely give some damage. I'm not sure what that damage we see is the damage that he actually has. Side by side almost behind with that. Bump draft is Flamingos. Through turn 2 we go. These two drivers, they cannot get away from each other. They're like a pair of astronomy terms fail me now. Romeo and Juliet or Midsummer Night's Dream. These two drivers are lovers that cannot get away from each other. Down the inside, tries to go Flamingo. Are they going to touch it once more? Yes, they are. Sideways is Flamingo's. Excellent recovery. from Flamingos here as we have a look on the inside. Just realised we are on the wrong UI map, but we will stay with it now. Look at how much they are moving and gaining side by side and forwards and backwards. These two drivers may not know each other quite as well as Mr. M knows other drivers, but they sure do seem to be driving very well. Through he goes, Flamingo side by side. Is he going to get it this time? Lap 17. Oh, Mr. M with a better line, cutting Flamingos off, almost swiping his nose. Of course, that would have more of a drastic impact on Mr. M, and I think there's an issue with Flamingos. His engine's off. What is going on with Flamingos? Through goes Canadian. Has he blown his engine? Something's happened to Flamingos, and I can't tell you what's happened. His airspeed's holding steady. I'm not sure what's happened. I think he's had one bang too many with Mr. M. Okay, retract that statement as we look at the leader here. His engine is disabled for us. He's out of fuel for us. Of course, apparently for him, he's quite clearly not out of fuel. Let's have a look at Wilbur. Wilbur needs to win this race currently. I think he's in P4, make that P3 as he is side by side down the inside with Canadian. There's a caution, something's happened. Is that just Flamingos going slowly? I think it might be. He is very slow now, but he is off the track. He's in the inside of the line. I'm not sure what is happening with Flamingos. He's got his clutch fully in, so the engine being still is not going to worry too much. Of course, it is a big worry, especially when you get the airspeed of 4. And I don't think he's going to make it back to the pits. I think he's going to have to retire from the race. Yeah, that is a very big shame. Racing very well, White Flamingos now out of the race. One hit too many. Here is Wilbur. He's trying to drive his car off to get to the end. He needs to win this race, as I've said multiple times. And currently, he is not winning. Let's have a look at the person who is in the lead. I thought it was Mr. M in the lead. Did he? I thought Mr. M was in the lead. I might have got that wrong. Oh well. Let's have a look at who the safety car has caught. Not Tim, it's the other driver who... Canadian has been caught up by the safety car, well, picked up by the safety car. Tim passing, unlapping himself. Here's Canadian. Oh, he's giving a nice little nudge to Flamingo. How kind is that? Flamingo getting a revive. Getting a revive. He will be able to fix his truck. It was a 10-second wait to fix his truck, and he's just reset it in the wrong place. He might actually just be cooling it out. We'll have a look. Is he going to drive? I'm not sure. He's made it back to the pits. He's of every obligation to be able to go again. Oh well. He is now going out again. He is back in the race. He's going to be a few laps down. That's for sure. Red flag. Red flag has been called. That's caught me. But why has the red flag been called? Let's have a look. Tim, sideways. What's happened? What's happened over here? I could not tell you why there is a red flag. Let's have a look at Wilbur. Wilbur's going to be so thankful for this red flag, though. Maybe Mr. M has had a moment. I don't know. His van seems to be alright. I'm not sure what's wrong. Here's Levy. He's out, I think. I haven't seen him at all this race, from what I've seen, at least. Let's have a look at Mr. M, though, who I thought was in the lead. I don't know what's happened there. Could not tell you why there was a red flag. Let's just put the aux on so that if someone does join. You can hear what they have to say. I don't know. Let's have a look at Canadian and Flamingos as they enter the pits. Mr. M will restart his game, and I think we will then be able to go green again. Levy leaves the serve. What lap were we on? Lap 19. Lap 19 out of 58. And we have a red flag. These two drivers, Canadian, just completely missing the pit lane right there. He has not done the best job of entering the pit lane legally there. It is a red flag, so I'm not sure that will be prosecuted. Through we go though, and the drivers will line up. You can hear the honks of drivers. Once we get going, we can see the. Once we get going, we will be given a flag check. Currently, we're just waiting. So here's a quick rundown of what's happened this race. We missed laps 1, 2. There must have been a crash because there was a caution. We had lap 3. You guys missed that because of a technical malfunction. There was a crash that brought out the caution. Just after it went green again. That brought out the caution. The caution lasted a few laps. After those laps ended, then we went green again, and, well, there was more crashes from all the way down the grid. We had crashes at the front, crashes at the back, and that's how we have the red flag out on lap 19. Not even halfway through the race. 20 laps left until we are halfway. 20 laps left? No, not 20. 10 laps left until we are halfway. And there's a lot that you can be excited for. Lots of action in the first third of the race. If we're going to keep up this action, this race is going to last a long time. That's a long time for goodies. So get your popcorn ready. Get whatever sweet treats you want. Get your popcorn buckets. I've already said popcorn. Get your Coca-Cola buckets. Other brands are available, and we will be ready to go very soon. So as we go for the formation lap once more, I will read you the restarting order. P1 is Mr. M, P2 is Canadian, P3 is Wilbur, P4 is Flamingo, and P5 is Tim. Everyone else is out. So as the drivers get themselves ready, we will get the correct UI apps up, as everyone is now spawned in. There we go. That's more like it. That is what you guys came here to see if you guys watched in last season. This is BeamGP doing Nasvan around Lonestar Speedway, broadcasting live on YouTube, youtube.com/@BeamGP, and on my Twitch. Not the BeamGP Twitch, because, again, we will get that up and running in the next few weeks. Doing the formation app to restart the grand finale for the Lonestar Nasvan. Through we go. Canadian. He's doing a little bit of aerodynamics, except the kind that adds more drag. Same as Mr. M, same as Tim.
Through we go though, and there's the yellows. What, the red lights? 5 red lights, and it's green. Through we go. Who's going to take the lead through turn 1? Drivers 2 by 2 by 1. Tim falling back, losing a lot of ground. There's been contact between Flamingos and the Canadian. The two drivers on the outside, they've made contact because it's not the outside where you want to make the contact. It's not the inside that you don't want to make the contact. You don't want to touch anyone, but certainly not when you're both on the outside. You just smash right into the wall with the two drivers, though, not sliding into the wall spectacularly. Through turn 2 we go. That first pack of 4 is Mr. M in the front, then Wilbur, then Canadian, then Flamingos, and you can see Tim right at the back, falling further and further behind. As you can see, Canadian, he's trying to go up the inside of Wilbur. Wilbur trying to win this race. Through turn 1, Canadian makes it up the inside of Wilbur. Wilbur through the back straight. You can see that that rear door is flying high. I haven't seen a door fly quite as high as that for a long time. Flamingo's up the inside of Wilbur. Wilbur is he's just lost 2 positions out like that. He was in front of Canadian going to that previous turn 2, but now he is at the back. Let's have a look at Flamingo. Flamingo is now in P3 as we enter lap 21. The first half still going strong. Round we go. Flamingos is very close to the back of Canadian, who is catching Mr. M. Down the back straight we go. The driver is swoggling, doing a slalom. Down we go. Flamingos taking the high lane. It's not exactly what I would choose. That's not what the others have chosen. The others have chosen the bottom lane. Let's see the exhaust fumes from these cars builds up drastically. Fuel guzzlers, you might want to call these, but I just call these racing vans. Through goes Wilbur, trying to make it a P1 finish. He's got over half the race left to go, and he is currently P4. Canadian getting it a little bit sideways, trying to hold off Wilbur side by side down the back straight into turn 2. Who's it going to be? Flamingos and Wilbur taking the high track. Canadian losing out a little bit of speed lost on the entry to the corner. That's allowed Wilbur to come back through. Let's have a look on the onboard. You can see Mr. M trying to hold off Flamingos. Flamingos catching slightly through the mid corner. Mr. M gaining. Wilbur gaining on both of them though. Through turn 1, holding off is Wilbur. He's not going to go for the race, for the overtake now. Of course, you don't want to overtake every opportunity you can because you can use the slipstream to your advantage. How can you do that? Well, you speed up faster. Because you can speed up faster, you don't need to put as much gas through the pedal to get the same acceleration. This allows you to drive with less fuel consumption and still get the same lap time, which helps you save fuel. If you save fuel, then you can go for longer. Safety car called out. I think that is for Tim. Let's have a look at Tim. It's not for Tim. Tim is perfectly fine. Lap 24, we're on a caution. I don't know why they've called the caution, to be perfectly honest. Out comes the safety car. Now, the safety car shouldn't be overtaking these drivers. These drivers should have gone around, but it's happened multiple times where the FAA have gone, no, actually, you guys slow down so the safety car can overtake, which is not exactly how it should happen, but who am I to complain? Through we go. Lap 24, turn 2, and caution here at the Lonestar Speedway. Let's give you a quick rundown of the positions. We've got Mr. M, then we've got Flamingos, then we've got Wilbur, and then we've got Canadian. And far, far, far back in the background is Tim. How long this caution will last, I don't know. I don't know why it was started to begin with. As you can see, the Lonestar branding all around this circuit. This very big circuit, lap 25. Halfway to 50, but this isn't 50 laps, this is 58 laps. 1 lap left till we go green. And there is Tim catching up to the pack. Is Tim going to get a good start this time? We will see in half a lap. Through turn 1, these drivers, so slow, their engines will be screaming for some more cooling. Of course, these drivers, the engines will also be going, oh yes, I'm not being used quite as much as I was before. And Canadian just about keeping it out of the barrier. and safety car caution is now ending. Tim overtaking Canadian, I believe. He has every right to, because Canadian had a massive oopsie. Technical term there, oopsie. Flamingos, though, on the outside as we wait to go green. One more corner, and then it will be green. Safety car peeling off into the pits. And around we go. Passing the grandstand one more time. Who is going to lead out of turn 1? We will see 5 red lights, and it's green. Through they go over the start-finish line, and Wilbur has the inside. Flamingos going a bit wide outside. Through is Wilbur, P2. Wilbur and Mr. M, they know each other quite well. They've driven with each other multiple times in the past. Look how close Wilbur was. Mr. M slowing down. I think there's something wrong with Mr. M's car. What's happened with Mr. M? Let's just have a look at the chase cam. Down the inside, bonnet cam at the back, you can see mirror flying off of Flamingos. Of course, that takes a little bit of aerodynamics off of Flamingos. Through we go, though. Mr. M still in the lead at the end of lap 26 into lap 27. Wilbur still P2. He needs to gain one more position and to finish the race in that position to become the champion of Nasvan. Canadian getting down the inside and passing Flamingo. That's who it is. But Flamingo, he's going to keep it around the outside and go through to take P3 back from Canadian. And Tim already falling back just a tad too far to do an overtake. But I'm sure he'll learn with time. Time will take everything. And it's time that will decide who the winner is of this race. We have half the race left to go. So just wait one moment or two, and you will see who the winner of Nasvan is. Will the winner today in half the race that we have in front of us, will the winner be Wilbur? Will it be Mr. M? Or will something shocking happen? Will these drivers take each other out, leave 3 drivers left, and will one of those drivers who aren't Mr. M or Wilbur complete the victory? Of course, if Wilbur doesn't win, then Gav wins the championship. And there's been contact. Canadian almost getting swiped by Wilbur down the back straight. Mr. Flamingo is in the walls, though. That is not where you want to see a car at all. And that's a caution. That is a caution. Flamingo keeping his car driving forwards, but he's going to have to fix his car. Through we go into another caution on lap 29. Well, that was a little bit exciting. The drivers very close to each other. We haven't seen a race this close in BeamGP for, well, a broadcasted BeamGP race for a few races. It's been fun. All the drivers entering the pits, presumably to get more fuel. A few drivers will have damage and they will fix that damage. I think that this driver behind us, Wilbur, is one of them. Or not. Wilbur is in front, in fact, and Tim goes through. Tim is leading this race. Well done, Tim. Props to you. I knew you could do it. And, well, here we go. We see over the halfway point, Tim is leading. He almost might get told off because, well, barely didn't overtake the caution. The, do they save it? Safety car in NASCAR? I'm sure they do. They don't say caution car, that's for sure. Almost overtaking the safety car, which is a no-no. But the driver's now catching up. Here's Canadian taking P2, Mr. M taking P3, Wilbur taking P4. And there should be a 5th driver catching up at some point. Can we hear them? No, we can't. Can we see them? No, we can't. Bob the Builder. Mr. M's going, I was P2. What are you doing, Canadian? Although he has been told to stop texting and driving. I'm sure they can excuse it this one time. I still can't hear where that 5th car is. Let's have a look. Where is Flamingo? Oh, Flamingo's here. He's catching up. He's pushing his car as fast as he can. Lap 31. Let's have a look at Tim. Tim leading the race. I'll just say that again. Tim leading the race. I mean, you've got to give it to that man. He has tried really hard. The drivers arguing a little bit. And we go through lap 32. I think that was lap 32. Lap 31. So we have one more to green. As we see, Flamingo has caught up to the back of the pack. Mr. M warming up his tyres. Not the happiest of bunnies, Mr. M is right now. Let's make sure that he doesn't do anything that he will regret. Through we go, though. Can I hide the names? I can't. Oh well. And around we go. Safety car peeling off. Now we're just waiting for the lights. The lights will determine it all. Lap 32, there's the 5 red lights. And we go green at the Lone Star one more time. Wilbur with an amazing start, trying to pull down the inside. And here is Tim. He's already at the back. I think he's just let them pass, which is unfortunate. But it's what has happened here. Riding on board with Flamingo, he has overtaken Canadian. Not taking the slipstream for Mr. M and Wilbur. Double slipstream is much better than single slipstream, which is better than no slipstream, which is what he took. Down into turn 2, middle lane here for Wilbur and Flamingo. Flamingo switching to the inside lane. He's now straddling both lanes, actually, trying to get slipstream from both Wilbur and Mr. M. Wilbur around the outside of Mr. M through turn 3 as we enter another lap, lap 33. Look at the gap between Wilbur and Flamingo. There is almost no gap, any desync, and they both will get taken out. Well, maybe not both, maybe just Flamingo's because he is behind Wilbur. But desync from Wilbur might take out Flamingo's, and that would be really unfortunate for this man who has tried so hard, even got a reset. And it would just be a shame if he got taken out. Through we go, turn 2, 2 by 2. The driver's making it 3 by 3 into turn 3. On the infield, both of the Mr. M and Flamingo's under the paint. You're not allowed to do that. Into turn 1 we go, lap 34. Brake checking Wilbur. Into the barrier goes Flamingo's one more time. And he's going to have to fix his car yet again. I think that's going to be another caution. Are they going to crash? No, Canadian just avoids Flamingo's. And let's have a look at the battle for the front. Here is Wilbur trying to go around the outside of Mr. M. These two friends battling. Oh, very, very close. Very talented, these two young drivers. Through they go once more time, though, into the end. Lap 35. We've still got 24 laps left of the race. Wilbur almost in the barriers. He's so far out. How will he compare, though? Getting slipstream down the back straight. Through we go into turn 2. You see Canadian very far back. What's going to happen here? Riding on board with Wilbur under 34 feet. Trying to go around the outside into turn 3. The two drivers almost contact. As we enter lap 36, will Wilbur try and switch it to the inside? No, he goes for the high line once more. Side by side, they almost make contact again, Mr. M and Wilbur. Rubbing is racing is what they say. And these two drivers, well, they're not rubbing as much as Mr. M and, was it Wilbur? Wilbur and Flamingo were earlier, but they are still definitely pushing the limits of racing cleanly, in my opinion. Through we go though, Mr. M taking the inside lane and Wilbur still trying to hang it around the outside. Mr. M defending nicely from Wilbur. Wilbur will at some point have to just go for an attack somehow. Whether it's by taking him out or by genuinely going for an overtake cleanly around the outside, we will see. Whether he'll break the rules like everyone else has and go down the inside paints, we will see. But around we go. High track again. Sliding down to the inside. Slightly outside, trying to avoid the dirty air from Mr. M. Look at how much he's closed up. Side by side as we enter another lap. I think that's lap 38. Side by side again through into turn 1. Wilbur very wide still. Very, very wide. He's putting his car, his van, very wide. And they make contact. And they both get very sideways or quite a bit sideways. They slip their way through that corner and somehow don't end up in the wall. Wilbur though, he's in the wall, he's made contact and he didn't turn. His car just went straight on. You can see the wheels were turned, but his van decided that it's had enough. It went in the barriers. That is going to be the end of that battle. Wilbur is going to pull it into the pits and there's another caution. Wilbur's got straight on still. His car won't turn left, which is very annoying if you want to turn left. But that will allow the pack to bunch up again. Let's have a look at where Flamingos is. Flamingos is P3 behind this man right here, Canadian, who is P2 behind this man, Wilbur, on the back straight. Let's have a look at who is P5. Yep, that's right. I'm talking about the only Tim. Tim is here, P4 currently, because he has overtaken Wilbur. Wilbur is just leaving the pit lane as I speak, entering turn 1. Let's have a look at who he was fighting, Mr. M. I think that contact they made through turn 1 just threw something off of his steering, and which disabled his ability to turn left. And the next corner was a left-hander, as all the corners on this track. And that's so annoying for Wilbur, lap 40. And do you know who's leading? I know who's leading. That's right, it's Canadian who is leading. Canadian, fun fact, he is Canadian. Yeah, it's kind of in the name. And he is leading Nasvan. Through we go. Another set of drivers making their way to win the Nasvan Cup. Canadian getting quite close to the safety car, as you can see. Mr. M asking where his position is. I'd say it's P4. That's a 5. There is Mr. M. Actually, where is his position? Where are the others? Where's Tim? There's Tim. What happened to Tim and Flamingo? Did they enter the pits? Maybe they entered the pits. They might have entered the pit lane. Well, pit road. And it's lap 41, as you might have seen. And, well, these drivers, maybe fatigue is starting to set in. Maybe not. It is impossible to say as we enter turn 2 here with Tim. Riding on board with Tim, you can see Flamingo in front and Wilbur in front once more. And if you look further in front, you can see Mr. M, Canadian, and the safety car. You can hear the wind whistling past the camera. And the van, he's catching up. He's catching up for sure. Here's Canadian, though, the current race leader. Mr. M's caught up. White Flamingos has caught up. And soon, even Tim will catch up. Look at that. Just as I say it, Tim catches up. The caution is now ending, and we go to yellow flags. And the safety car will peel off the track to the left, as we've seen multiple times this race. The drivers will be putting their cars through what they can. And the safety car, off it goes. And we wait for the 5 red lights have just lit up. Lap 42. Green we go as they cross the line. Who's going to be in front? Out of turn 1. Through turn 1, it's 2x2 and Tim has fallen off again. Flamingo's sticking with his high line restart, trying to stay out of all the trouble, but I think if you want to stay out of trouble, you'd go to the inside where the cars are, not where they will be. You can see the rolling coal that these vans are unintentionally doing. Through we go, Flamingo high line. 2x2 this pack, or 4. 2x2 makes 4, of course. That is a square number. Through we go, through turn 3. Mr. M just riding that paint. A lap 43. We start. M in the front. Wilbur P2. Canadian P3. And Flamingos, I'd say joint P3. They're swapping quite a lot, Flamingos and Canadian. Currently, Flamingos is in front, but he almost drives into Wilbur. He has to hold off. He drives to the inside. It's 4 wide, almost 3 wide into turn 2. Canadian trying to find a way through Flamingo, almost getting into the lead. Flamingo falling back, though, to P4. Wilbur falling to P2. Canadian is still P3. Currently, turn 3 we're going through now. As we start lap 44, Lewis Hamilton's number for you Team LH fans watching. Don't know who I'd be watching Nasvan, but you never know. 10 minutes left on the racing clock. And I don't think that we will be finishing the race, but we might, you know. It's about a 45-second lap around this track. And we've got about 15 laps left. 16-ish laps left. We might be able to finish it on time. FC Canadian has his hands on the drivers, getting quite sideways. There's been contact between Flamingo and Canadian. Canadian almost flying upside down. That is a caution. And Canadian is shattered. His car destroyed. Can he keep it going? Oh, he's cut the grass, and I don't think he's going to make that. I don't think he should be allowed to do that. He has cut the pits lane. That was told in Heat 2 that that was a no-no when someone did it in Heat 2. And, apologies for the explicit used by Mr. M there. Canadian is going to reset his car. I don't think he should be allowed to do that, personally. He did definitely cut the infield. We'll see what the stewards say about that. Flamingo's also in the wall. I think Flamingo's out of this race. Let's just have a look at the drone. And he's in the wall just before on the back straight. Something's happened to him and he is out of this race. Unfortunate to see as the person who made contact with him, well, he made contact with, passes at a high rate of knots. There goes lap 46 as we watch the drivers pass this stricken driver. As we have a look at the back cam, we'll see them coming past any moment now. You can see them in the back of the picture at the far end. Rounding out. Is this safety car going to make contact? Oh, just about. Tim makes contact with the wall. Mr. M makes contact with the wall as well. What's happened to these drivers? Tim and Mr. M, what happened with them? Why have they just flown out? He didn't run out of fuel, has he? What's happened with Mr. M? Let's have a look. I think I've lost connection. I think I've lost connection to the server, boys. I can hear the drivers crashing around, so let me just have a quick look. Yes, I have. Right, so technical difficulties. We'll be back. Well, I have a feeling that the the server crashed, which is why I undaintly lost the drivers into the barriers. They are currently lined up in the pit lane, all nice and neat. And we're just waiting for Flamingos to join back in. There we go, he is back in the server now. We're just going to wait for a spawn request for him, and then we should all be back. I don't know how long is left of the race. I will just get that information. Oh, someone else has asked that information, and we will get it very soon. Right, Flamingos is back in the server. Hopefully he doesn't crash again. And yeah, should be get up and going pretty quickly. Just after he has spawned in his car. Lap was 47 out of 58. I don't know how long was left of the race clock. But the cars, they're loading up. Spawn in. Let's have a look. There is Flamingo. I think he's gonna have to quickly no, I think that's just how he's going to look, or not. There we go, he has his thing, so I will quickly do the UI back to what it should be, and we will then swap back. Formation lap is starting again, and we go back to BeamGP. Here we go, formation lap. And TV cam with Canadian. Lap 58 is what we're restarting on. 12 laps left, even though it's 58 laps. Yeah, well. One is DMing me now. Suddenly I get so popular. I just open up my notes app. There we go. Now I can see what everyone is to see who wins. Through we go. As we go through lap 2 now. The current drivers: Mr. M, Tim, Canadian, Wilbur, and Flamingos. In approximately that order. Wilbur, of course, he looks like he's been P4 currently. He needs to be in P1. Mr. M chasing his first win. As we go green, 5 red lights, and they go green. Lap 48 out of 58. Through we go, you can hear the engine roaring as they go past the cameras. Wilbur all the way up to P2 and through turn 1. Side by side with Canadian, they bang doors. Tim shooting to the inside of Flamingos, almost side-swiping Flamingos out of the race. Wilbur down the, almost down the inside, going out to the outside. How many times has he done that? How many times has it not worked? Well, I can tell you how many times it has worked. The answer is 0. He has not got past Mr. M going around the outside, because Mr. M is defending valiantly. I can tell you that. Flamingo's down under the paint. Lap 49. Thank you, camera operator. I want to have you fired. Canadian down the outside, now P4. Let's have a look at Wilbur. Riding on board with him. At the back, let's have a look. There is Flamingos. There is Canadian. Who is going to do what? Flamingo holding off from Wilbur. Wilbur trying again the high side on Mr. M. I have a feeling that Wilbur is trying to let Mr. M win. I'm not going to speculate anything. I'm speculating that. But Wilbur down the inside, down the outside, round the outside, side by side with Mr. M. Flamingos side by side with Canadian. Wilbur looks to be in front of Mr. M. There's been contact. Wilbur's in the wall. That's his front thing. There's a caution called out instantly. Wilbur has been demolished in the wall. He can still drive, and there's also another secondary contact with Flamingos and Canadian. I think Flamingo's spinning. There's a lot of damage to his car as well as they go past. Mr. M just wondering where his rival has disappeared. Well, little does he know, they made contact and that sent his rival careening headfirst into the barrier. Thankfully, these drivers have not halo devices, hands devices, head and neck safety devices. As we enter lap 51. Another caution for these drivers. Through we go, riding on board with Mr. M. You can see the body parts of Wilbur's car strewn across the infield there. I don't think Wilbur is finishing this race. He looks quite stationary. through turn one. M in the front. Wilbur. Flamingo's in the front. What a change of events we see. Flamingo is leading the race. Mr. M staying in front of Wilbur, though. Wilbur P3 trying to get in front of Mr. M. Mr. M still defending valiantly. He's going to try and get in front of Flamingo. Dives down the inside, tells him, nope, I'm going to be here. Partially crosses the paint and shoves Flamingo down to the outside. Back to P3, Wilbur P2. Trying to overtake Mr. M. Flamingo fighting back up to P2 down the inside. Of course, Wilbur didn't defend the inside, and now you can see he's on the inside, so he's definitely letting Mr. M have the win. Flamingo's round the outside. Flamingo's going for this win. He doesn't care about Mr. M. He's a racer at heart, and he is going to race this race. Round the outside he goes, because that's the only place he can go, because he can't go the same place where Mr. M is. Canadian down the inside, on the inside of the paint. I'm not sure he can do that. They bring contact. Wilbur's in the wall. Flamingo's in the wall. Flamingo has had better days, and let's have a look at Wilbur. Wilbur is alive still as well, but well, a caution's been called out. Two drivers have almost been wrecked because of Canadian going on the inside of the paint, which is strictly against the rules. And it's another caution on lap 55. Are we on 55? Caution is ending though, so back to yellow flags, and we await the restart patiently. Riding on board with with Wilbur, who is not going for the win. So lap 56 we will restart on. 5 red flags. And it's green. Where's Wilbur going to be on the... is it going to be P2, P4, P3 or P5? We will see right now. Down the inside goes Wilbur on Canadian. Is he going to swipe Canadian out and wreck him? We will find out. I feel like if he does wreck him though... Oh, almost contact between Canadian and Flamingo's. Flamingo's swiping to the inside. And there's been contact between Wilbur and Canadian, and contact again. Wilbur into the wall. Safe caution's been called out. Flamingo's almost getting caught up in this as well. And Wilbur is out of the track again. Well, out of the pack again. This time, I don't think he's going to be able to make it back to the pits. He's made it back onto the track somehow. Lap 57, caution. Let's have a look at Flamingo's. Oof. His car's got a bit of a crab walk to it. Let's have a look at Canadian. He is in the pit lane. Oof. There's Tim going past. What an interesting race this has been. Let's have a look at Mr. M. Flamingo's honking for no reason at all. Around we go. We see Tim in the background. And there is Flamingo's with a very strong package. The exhaust of Flamingo's dragging on the ground, creating spectacular sparks. And we ride on board with Flamingo's as we pass the wreck of Wilbur. That sounds like a song by some rock band. And there is the sorry sight of Wilburtronic. The Brit almost made it to the finish. Not quite. I don't think he'll be finishing this race. Which once again hands the championship back to Gab. Gab does get the championship, I believe. So well done, Gab. Lap 58. This should have been the last lap, but because we're under caution, it's not the last lap. Let's go back onto TV Cam. My favourite camera. Of course, it actually works in this car. Look at all the smoke pouring out of Tim. Is Wilbur in the pit lane? No, Wilbur is trying to start again. He is going to be so many laps down, though, that whatever he finishes, it's not going to count for anything. Let's have a look at Mr. M, though. The current P1 holder, we'll say. He's currently going to win the race if it ended now. Of course, it won't end now. It will end 2 laps after the caution is over. Mr. M's asking, of course, we can't hear what is being said, so we can only speculate what he's questioning as he's flashing his headlights furiously. Riding on board again, we see Wilbur reversing back to the pit lane. I believe they should go green next lap then, because he is now off the track and now in a safe place. Look at that! How close Mr. M is. Lap 59 now. Into overtime. 1 lap left until we go green, which is great news for anyone who wants the race to end. If you do want the race to end, why? Why? We love this race. This race is amazing. Through we go. Lots of action in this race as well. Even though we missed lap 1 and 2, there was lots of action on that lap 1 that we did miss, but lots more action that we haven't missed. And that is why we watch these streams. That's why we give you guys these streams, so you guys can have fun and watch. Through goes Wilbur, unlapping himself. He's still a lap down. He was up twice or 3 times, I believe, in that caution. As we get ready to go green. The caution will end soon. Lap 2. You can see the windmills in the background. They are still spinning. Of course, that does tell us that the wind is still flowing and that physics is still working. Which is good, because these drivers rely on physics to go forwards and to not go forwards when they don't want to go forwards. But around we go, waiting for the caution to end. Here we go. Look at Tim. 3, 2, 1, 5 red lights, and they go green in Lonestar. Through we go. Turn 1, Flamingo on the inside, on the outside. Correct. Pardon me. M's holding P1 Canadian behind him. Flamingos behind him. Canadian Flamingos. They're going to be fighting it out. Let's have a look at Flamingos right now as he tries to go around the outside for P2. Down the inside he goes on Canadian. Is he going to spin Canadian out? If he does, we're going to another caution, which will cause more overtime. Through we go, sideways looks Flamingos. Flamingos very slappy. Slappy? Very sideways, his car, unstable, a very loose car. I think I've got that right. Last lap. Next time they pass that start-finish straight, it will be the end of the race. Flamingo in the wall, and that is his chance of P2 over, I think. He's lost a lot of speed. His car is crabbing like there's no tomorrow. Round he goes into turn 2. As you can see, Tim far in the background. Around the outside he goes. He's got more speed than Canadian. Around the outside goes Canadian. Let's have a look at Mr. M as Mr. M comes around to win the Lone Star race. Flamingos P2, but is it going to be P2 for too long? Let's have a look. Checkered flag, and Mr. M is spun. Canadian wins. Flamingos 2, and Mr. M P3. What a finish! Canadian! Flamingo spins M, which slows down M and Flamingo just enough to let Canadian finish in P1. What a finish! I wasn't expecting that for a finish. Well done to Canadian, and well, that was a finish. I don't know what else to say. I don't think anyone expected that to happen. Drastic actions here at Lonestar Speedway. wish I had a replay. I'll give you the official finishing order once I get it. I think it would be in here right now. I don't see any order being put anywhere. That was the chat has gone wild here. Apologies about the explicit in chat. Let me just inform this this kid. So from what I counted, Canadian wins, Mr. M gets P3, Flamingos gets P2. I don't know about the other finish. I didn't really pay attention to that. I was too starstruck by that finish. But well, I don't exactly know what to make of that. That was a finish of all time, can be said. Wow. What a finish. I don't know what to say. Mr. M Wilbur sharply declines an interview. Very quick with the response there, Wilbur, as always. Well, all these drivers very lucky with their everything. Let's have a look at the announcements. It's just a picture of cars strewn across the track. Of course, that finish right there. That was not what anyone expected, that is for sure. I can't give you an official classification, but what I can give you, since I have got that are not many people that want an interview, is what we will do is the national anthem for, well, since I think since I think I play Canadian. Let me say that again. Since I think I play Canadian won that race, because I saw it there, that he crossed the line first. And I don't have any results to go off of currently because the race just ended. I will... okay, here we go. So the finishing order. Canadian, Flamingo, Mr. M, Tim, and Wilbur is one lap down. So that is that. Canadian wins the Lone Star race, the finale of Nasvan. So here is the... everyone, pay respect to the Canadian anthem for the winning driver. I play Canadian. Okay, microphone disconnected. I don't know how long it's been disconnected for. But next weekend is Hirochi for F3 and GTWS. Stick around for that. That is next weekend, live here on the YouTube. Thank you everyone for watching this live stream. Thank you for the stewards for stewarding. Thank you for the racers. Thank you for the drivers for driving. Thank you for you guys for watching, most importantly. It's been a pleasure. And of course, there is more action that you do not see. And if you at any point want to watch, want to listen, and want to take part, you can go to discord.gg/BeamGP, and that should take you to our server, or just go to BeamGP.com to look at our website, and the Discord invite is on there as well. There you can sign up to races and take part yourself. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next weekend at the lovely race of Hirochi Grand Prix. See ya!